All right, how many of you are parents? Good. How many of you work? How many of you are working parents? My peeps. All right, I am a working parent. I've been a working parent for almost 25 years. These are my children. And over the course of my motherhood journey, I've learned a lot about myself, about humanity, and my tolerance for insanity. And today I'm going to share with you my 5 strategies for surviving being a working parent. And by survive, I mean how to keep your focus on your goals and your dreams and not lose sight. So the first thing is to embrace guilt. So guilt is it's just a part of parenthood. You can't escape it. You're gonna feel guilty about being at this technically speaking event while your kid's at home. And you know what? That's okay, because as parents, we have a lot to do. We're not just doing stuff at work and for the kids, but we have stuff going on for ourselves. And so it's okay to be guilty. It's okay to feel that guilt and just let it go, because you know what? Sometimes we need to do things for ourselves. Sometimes we do need to focus on ourselves so we can be present for our children and our family when they need us. Which leads me to my second strategy, which is say no. As a mom, I love to say no to my kids. Mom, can I? No. It's absolute, it's definite, they know what you're talking about. But what I found is that I needed to say no more to other people and other things. So this is an org chart I did about 5 years ago on all the activities I had going on. And I just wanted to see, like, what am I doing? I felt like a hamster on a wheel. And I found out that I had to say no to some things. Like a few weeks ago, we had a bake sale. So instead of making fancy cupcakes, we just did chocolate-dipped pretzels, and that was fine. And which leads me to my next strategy, which is say yes. So we say no to the things that aren't as important so we can say yes to the things that are important. The things that move our needle forward, that get us closer to our goals, keep us fulfilling our passions. One of the things that I love doing is working in the community. And I teach at a school for adults with disabilities. And I love to do that. That feeds me, it gives me energy at the end of the week. And so I'll say yes to those things that move that forward. And one of the things I did to identify what's important is I kind of filled out this matrix and identified what's really a priority and what's something that I just want to do. Which leads me to my 4th strategy, which is be uncomfortable. Sometimes the things that are really important to us are going to make us super uncomfortable, like standing up here talking to all of you tonight. But being uncomfortable is important because sometimes outside of the comfort zone is where the magic happens. That's where you're learning the most. That's where you're gaining the most. It's a risk because there's a risk of failure, but it's a big gain. Now, a few weeks ago, I did iFly with my son, and I was scared the whole time. Why? I don't know. I wasn't going to fall to my death, but regardless, I was scared, but I did it anyway, and I learned a lot about myself that day and a lot about how I deal with fear. And I like to tell my kids, you know, keep learning even after you're out of school, because if you're not learning, you might be dead. So that might be a thing you want to keep doing. Now, finally, people talk a lot about work-life balance with parents, and I reject that notion. I do not believe there's work-life balance. I like to promote the idea of a work-life juggle, because we are constantly juggling things. We're throwing balls up in the air. It's either work, family, or ourselves, and then we're constantly dropping balls. I drop balls all the time. My biggest ball that I drop is my me ball, and I may not go work out, I may not take care of myself like I should, but you just have to pick that ball back up, throw it back up in the air, and just keep juggling, because you're going to get more balls thrown at you. And so I want you to remember, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. So remember my 5 strategies. Embrace guilt, say no, say yes, stay uncomfortable, and keep juggling. Thank you.